The origin of Guardian Angel's medical service dogs really originated from a need. Well, I've actually been fascinated with dogs my entire life. The joke is that I maybe said doggy before I said daddy, but when I really got involved with medical service dogs was after years of different types of training, giving private and public classes. For whatever reason, I guess it was one of those divine intervention moments, I started receiving people in my classes that had disabilities of different types. They weren't there because they were trying to get service dogs. They were there because they were simply trying to teach their dog basic obedience so it was properly behaved at home. But then I realized that certain dogs had the ability to do more for their handler, for their person, than just the basic obedience. So I would teach a few little extra things that would help that individual at home. Little did I know during those years the impact that that was going to have on other people's lives. Now that we have 7 years under our belt and nearly 200 dogs working across the country, it is amazing. It's my whole inspiration. I don't need a paycheck. My paycheck is the stories that I get back of lives impacted and saved by these dogs. It's an incredible thing.
My name is Cody Rezan. I'm the National Training Director for Guardian Angels Medical Service Dogs. The way that we do it is we breed our own dogs. They come from a European bloodline, which is a working bloodline. It's actually a police working bloodline. And those dogs are actually bred with certain working traits that we like to have with our dogs as well. What we do is when we breed our dogs, our temperaments are completely different. We like to have that low tolerable temperament to where, hey, they just lay out and hang out. And we don't have that high drive like the police canine side. So the biggest thing is we have to bring that dog up through life stages, which we have 6 life stages. And the puppies are number 1. So when we bring them up through the puppies, we actually start small mobility tasks of them going to retrieve items and things like that. They start getting specialized whenever they grow up, and we can actually determine what they will be good for.
My name is Megan Leach. My job here is Life Stage 4 trainer, but I also assist in the pairings as well as the first life stage. I teach them more of non-command tasks because a lot of the things that we deal with disabled people is that they're not thinking of giving the dogs commands. The dog just kind of naturally has to know what to do. How they start to figure it out, we call it connecting the dots here, is the part of the psychological bonding process that we put the dog through with the recipient. We require the recipient to hand feed the dog, so that gets the dog familiar with the recipient's smell, but also the dog starts responding to the secondary chemical changes that go on. And they smell that, and then they come over and we teach the recipient to give lots of praise also when the dog is coming up to them.
The initial reaction I had, or when I met Bug, was really emotional.
And the thing that I noticed was just to watch the stress and the anxiety starting to drain out of Natalie. And she went from being depressed to all of a sudden she began to smile.
Yeah, he immediately responded to all the commands from me and everything. And it's like we were just connected at that moment.
Well, I think the first thing that I would say, and this is a number that's very widely known, is the rate of 22 veteran suicides a day. And I think Guardian Angels is a solution to that problem. And they have not had any suicide attempts with any of the pairings they'd had with any of the veterans. I've seen it firsthand with Nally having a service dog, and how that's when she has come to that line where she's almost ready to take her life. There's a service dog there that gave her hope, that quailed her anxieties and depression and saved her life. And I think that that should be made available to every veteran, that just one life is too precious to lose.
I was on a downward spiral, and if I hadn't reached out to them, or they hadn't been there and actually reached out to me also, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. So I am so thankful and blessed to have Guardian Angels.